The big three of E3 have had their conferences come and go. Over the next 3 videos, we're going to share our personal opinions on how Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo all fared at E3 2012. Microsoft led the way with their conference on Monday, opening strong with Halo 4. First off, great way to kick things off. Lead in strong with a franchise that most every Xbox 360 owner knows and loves. Blending together a live-action trailer with actual gameplay was an interesting decision, one that seemed to pay off given how high quality the live-action Halo shorts have been in previous years. From what they showed of Halo 4, it seems as though any worries people may have had about 343 Industries taking over the development reins from Bungie should be alleviated. The action-filled snippets of gameplay they showed already threw the new enemy race in our face. A fresh foe was something the franchise needed, lest they went back to the already staling Covenant as the only enemy again. Cortana seems to have gotten a bit of a wonky makeover here, a look that some fans are a bit bitter about, but hey, it's a minor thing to pick apart here. Needless to say, the game looks good, with plenty of action going on, yet still looking like it retains the old Halo gameplay we've all come to know and love. Beyond that, the only other real highlight of their show was when Microsoft unveiled Xbox Smart Glass. Smart Glass is essentially Microsoft's answer to the Wii U gamepad. Apparently, you will be able to use Smart Glass on almost any iOS, Android, or Windows Phone-enabled device and have it act as a supplemental game screen to what's going on your TV or monitor. For instance, they showed how Halo 4 would show the Halo Waypoint app on the Smart Glass-enabled device while the game was being played on the TV. From this, you can see your stats in real time or join up on a friend's game without wading through the menus on the Xbox. Sure, it seems like a bad example given how easy it is to join a multiplayer game already, but it's still a really early concept and I'm sure more developers will have better showcases as Smart Glass picks up steam. Smart Glass also allows you to turn your phone or tablet into a universal remote for various media devices in your house. Smart Glass enabled device will sync up with what you're watching on the main screen and allow you to instantly continue watching a movie on your tablet at the point you left off on your Xbox 360. It also includes supplemental data such as maps and behind-the-scenes information for, say, Game of Thrones, should you be watching that on your TV at the time. Easily more impressive than Kinect, at least in my opinion. Speaking of Kinect, there was surprisingly very little shown off for that device this year. That was a good thing. The only real standout was Fable the Journey, which appears to be an on-rails Kinect-enabled title. Incredibly underwhelming, and I'm sure the novelty of throwing fireballs and such at enemies will quickly grow old. Gears of War Judgment was sort of revealed. A very short trailer was shown off from the People Can Fly developed title that serves as a prequel to the series. This installment seems focused mainly on Baird, at least if the trailer was any indication. What wasn't really mentioned was how the game difficulty will adjust dynamically to how well you are or are not doing. That seems pretty neat, but for a new entry in what is another huge franchise for Microsoft, you would think that they would have spent more time showing it off, but they didn't. They also didn't show off the new competitive game mode unless you visited their presentation on the show floor itself. Probably the best and most likely unscripted event came from Matt Stone and Trey Parker, the creators of South Park and the team behind South Park: The Stick of Truth. Taking to the stage and immediately cracking a joke about the events that happened in this conference prior to their showing up was a special treat. It's rather telling when a mocking joke about your conference is more memorable than most of the rest of the conference itself. Also, The Stick of Truth looks like it'll end up being a fantastic title, both for fans of RPG titles and for fans of South Park. In other news, Usher had a musical performance during the conference that was... Alright, that was horrific. I don't understand why Microsoft or any of the companies there think anybody wants to sit through a musical performance of any kind. The people in attendance at these conferences are people in the media who happen to be gamers. Imagine that, a gaming event where those in attendance are fans of games. So why then does Microsoft think anybody at home or in attendance there wanted to sit through a musical performance? They weren't even showing off the game mentioned beforehand, which I believe was Just Dance 4. It was literally just a single song concert out of nowhere. The time they wasted on that could have easily been used to show off more game footage. Hell, even them showing off new Kinect stuff would have been better use of that time, and nobody really even owns a Kinect. Continuing with the bad stuff from Microsoft Conference was the mention that Internet Explorer would be coming to the 360 dashboard this year. Yay? First off, this was already rumored and slightly confirmed a while back. Secondly, the only time I feel like I'd ever use this is to try to see if it'll let me download Firefox. Once I find out for sure that I can't do that, I won't ever touch that service again. With how many other dedicated apps there are on the Xbox 360, there really seems to be no rhyme nor reason for them to add in Internet Explorer as well. They have Bing Search already on there, which I never bothered to use outside of when it was first added just to test it out. They have dedicated apps for sports, movies, television, social media, and music. Adding Internet Explorer just seems like another waste of resources. However, speaking of music, Microsoft also revealed Xbox Music. Replacing all things Zune, the Xbox Music will be a cross-device service that lets you stream music to your PC, smartphones, tablets, and your 360. It's similar to Spotify, only this will only work on Windows 8 enabled devices. Wow. Sorry Windows 7 users, it looks like Microsoft finally gave you a reason to upgrade to their hip new operating system, because clearly Xbox Music is what everyone is going to want. Did we mention yet how it's similar to Spotify? A service that is available now for free and works on a variety of systems and devices that don't require Windows 8? Oh, but wait. Xbox Music will integrate with Facebook. Never mind. Spotify already does that too. Concluding the rather disappointing conference was... drumroll please. I don't have a drumroll. Anyway, you guessed it. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. They showed off a lot of gameplay footage from that game. It started going for a bit too long, and I was afraid they were going to play through the entire single-player campaign in that 20-minute span of time. Get it? Because the Call of Duty games are so short? Anyway, nothing in there managed to impress me. From what I gather from Twitter, it didn't manage to impress anybody. It's Call of Duty, but with a new set of weapon skins and a futuristic setting. The only somewhat neat thing was how players have a choice of routes and events that they can either choose to ignore or actually carry out, meaning some elements of the campaign may be different depending on what you choose. Other than that, it's the same old same old. Microsoft conference started off with such great promise and quickly died off the moment Halo 4 was done being showcased. Stupid musical performances, lack of worthwhile game news, and a lot of boasting about how Xbox 360 gets DLC releases first for multi-platform games. Which reminds me, the first DLC for Tomb Raider and pretty much all of the DLC for Black Ops 2 are a timed exclusive for the Xbox 360. They made sure to shove that down our throats, by the way. It's almost as though Microsoft wasn't prepared for E3 and just decided, fuck it, let's throw a lot of non-gaming entertainment crap at them. They'll think it's awesome. No, sorry, we didn't. Well, anyway, maybe Sony's conference ended up being better.